Hey there, cats and kittens, and thanks for tuning in to another episode of The MonkeyBoy Presents the DC Comics Superhero Collection by Eaglemoss, and today I'm happy to bring you the 11th special edition in the series, Lobo. And I'm sure most of you know who this guy is. He is probably one of the most infamous and famous characters in the DC universe, the intergalactic bounty hunter who destroyed his own civilization just so he could be the one and only Zarnian in the galaxy. He is crazy, he is wild, he is totally worthy of being a special edition in my opinion. As always, we'll start with the packaging very quickly because they do come in special packaging for being a special edition. As you can see, the outside of his packaging has a slip case that's a much darker color, but is still that sort of marble granite pattern. It has the DC Comics Superhero Collection logo in red on the top and the seal of approval in the corner, and the sides of the box feature some unique artwork featuring the main man, Lobo, along with his name slash logo, I guess, on the top there. And as you can see, it is very, very large. He is a very big figure, which is one of the reasons why I feel he is totally worthy of being a special edition. His size, his detail, which of course you'll see very shortly. If you're familiar with the character, chances are you have seen him on episodes of Superman the Animated Series, which I think is probably where he is most famous. He also appeared on some episodes of the Animated Justice League. He has been realized in live action for an AFI student film in the early 2000s, the Lobo Paramilitary Christmas Special. It's out there, it's on YouTube, you can find it, it's really, really cool. I highly recommend checking it out. It's the closest I think we're ever going to get to a live action Lobo. And more recently, he has appeared on episodes of Young Justice. Really cool to still see him out there in the mainstream DC. For those of you who are unfamiliar with him, well, that's why we have, of course, the magazine, which will tell us everything we need to know about the bounty hunter known as Lobo, the last Zarnian, the main man. And then we'll take a look at the figure itself, covering the good, the bad, and the ugly. Of course, those last two categories, which you'll see we may not even have to cover with this guy. Please sit back, relax, and enjoy the 11th special edition in the DC Comics Superhero Collection by Eaglemoss, Lobo. First up, the character section. We meet Lobo, who hails from the planet Zarnia, which was, once upon a time, a virtual paradise, a cultural and scientific wonderland where the citizens enjoyed complete peace and worked towards the betterment of all society. That is, of course, until Lobo was born, who, moments after birth, slaughtered everyone in the delivery room. In addition to being a violent sociopath, Lobo was also extremely ambitious and intelligent, and sought to be the only Zarnian in the galaxy so that he would be unique. To that end, he designed a microscopic scorpion-like creature that he unleashed on the Zarnian population, killing 5 billion souls almost overnight. Lobo decided to capitalize on his more violent tendencies and his natural-born ability to regenerate his own body and even clone himself by becoming a bounty hunter. The next few pages tell us about some of the many adventures, team-ups, and fights that Lobo has had as an intergalactic bounty hunter, including a time that Lobo actually teamed up with Etrigan the Demon, his first confrontation with Superman, We even learn that Lobo has encountered the Easter Bunny and has fought with Santa Claus. We also learn about a woman named Bling Bling who sought to bring down the galaxy's baddest Bass Stitch and take the title of the #1 bounty hunter in the galaxy. Next, we look at a few of Lobo's classic stories. First up, Lobo, Portrait of a Bass Stitch. And this graphic novel is actually a compilation of Lobo's first two miniseries. It firmly establishes Lobo as one of the craziest and most anarchistic characters in all of the DCU, while showcasing two of his greatest storylines. One involving his kidnapped former 4th grade teacher, who he is sent in to rescue, and another where he is killed on a mission and finds that neither heaven nor hell wants to take his soul because he's too violent and crazy. It's a really great collection, and if you're a fan of Lobo, it's worth checking out. Next up, we have the Lobo Paramilitary Christmas Special. And this is one of Lobo's most famous stories and was actually turned into a short film. It features the Easter Bunny hiring Lobo to take out his nemesis, Santa Claus, and what ensues is one of the craziest, bloodiest, most violent battles you will ever see in comic books, where Lobo actually goes to the North Pole, finds Santa Claus, slaughters an army of elves, and then faces down the man in red in a machete fight to the death. It's epic, it's crazy, and it's definitely one of Lobo's best stories. Finally, we look at Lobo Infanticide. And this is one of Lobo's most well-illustrated stories ever. It features 200 of Lobo's illegitimate children who decide that Daddy must die. So they lure him to Zarnia's third moon, where they have tricked him into thinking he's been drafted into some sort of Marine Corps. And while there, they try to execute him in multiple and fun, various, violent ways. It's a crazy story that has a really twisted sort of ending. And again, if you're a Lobo fan, you'll really dig it. On the first page of Lobo's Friends and Foes section, we see his canine sidekick, Mutt. And the next couple pages feature two of his romantic interests, Layla and Darlene, as well as the Man of Steel himself, Superman. Finally, the Original Thinking section features some of the greatest acts of wanton violence and mindless destruction that Lobo has wrought across the DCU. This includes a time when the main man got trapped on a harem planet and had to sleep with hundreds of women in order to escape. Another bounty where he found himself involved in a violent ballet that he literally had to dance his way out of. And a time when he attended the San Diego Comic-Con looking for a back issue of Superman and accidentally brought the convention down around him. Here we have the main man, Lobo, and this is an absolutely outstanding figure. In my opinion, the best of the special editions. There are few that even come near this guy when you're talking the size and the scale of him and the level of detail. It is just absolutely mind-boggling. all the things that are here. Not only does he look absolutely perfect, I think it's a great representation of Lobo. His skin is chalky and white, the musculature is outstanding, the face is perfect, he even has a cigar in his mouth. Every tiny little detail, every little thing you can imagine is just perfectly detailed. There's not a sticker on him either. All of that, the Bite Me Fanboy on the back of his vest, all hand-painted. Not a single decal, nothing anywhere. Love all the little highlights on this guy. Love the fact that he has the gun in one hand, and he's got Mutt kind of on a leash. And I love Mutt too. I love the look of him. He's sort of cartoony looking, which I really, really dig. And then of course Lobo, just because he's got to be a badass, is standing on the head of a Dominator that he has obviously decapitated. It's absolutely outstanding. There's so much to look at on this guy, so I don't want to waste a lot of time here. We're going to dive right in to the Better Pictures section in just a moment. Lobo stands atop the classic DC logo, and the underside of his base features his name and serial number. To give you a sense of how large this figure is, here he is next to Superman, fellow Special Edition figure and friend, Etrigan the Demon. A shot with his intergalactic friends, Adam Strange and Starfire. And one last group shot with some of the other Special Editions in the series so far, so you can see just how big and detailed Lobo is. Lobo is, for me, the quintessential Special Edition figure. Gorilla Grodd was the old benchmark. Lobo has now taken that title. He is as near perfect a figure, I think, as you're going to find in this line. He is up there with some of the greats, and the good by far outweighs anything bad on this figure. As a matter of fact, I don't know that there's anything bad on this figure. So here we go, diving right in with the good. Everything, absolutely everything. I cannot state that enough. The paint, the sculpt, clean edges, every little tiny friggin' detail is there. Mutt, I love the fact that Mutt is there. He's huge. He's absolutely gigantic. His detailing is astounding. You can see him next to Superman here. I mean, Mutt is almost as big as Superman is. That gives you an idea of how large this statue is. His detailing on every little bit of him is astounding. If I were to try and cover it all, this review would be forever. So let's see how much I can get done and how fast I can get it done. He's standing on the head of a decapitated Dominator, which I think is a great touch. It just shows his violent nature. You can see his boots are just ridiculously detailed. He's got steel on the bottom where the treads are, and they look sharp and nasty. I love the bracers. I love that you can see the straps. I love the knee pads, and there are stars on the knee pads, and the different paints, the different textures. His jeans look like blue jeans. They're dirty and wrinkled. They're torn in places, which is a great detail. His right knee is different from his left knee. You can see it has that skull detail on there, but it still has the stars as well, and the straps and everything else. The belt is really nicely detailed. The pants, again, you can see there's a great wash all over the pants. You can see his skin poking through the rips and tears in certain places. I love the codpiece and the buckle with that sort of winking skull on the center. I think it's just great. All the different colors. His hands are unique and different. I like that he's holding the big, crazy-looking blaster in his left hand. You can see his finger on the trigger, his hand in the gloves. Every finger is detailed. The gun itself is ridiculously detailed, from the sight to the muzzle to the barrel of the gun, the magazine. Every little bit of it is detailed, and there are different shades of silver there as well all over that gun. It's really fantastically detailed. And his right hand is holding the chain, which is a nice metallic silver paint. It's wrapped around his wrist. Again, his fingers and the glove are all detailed, and you can see right here, he's actually holding a chain. It is an actual chain. You can see again how small it is with this shot as well. And it's just awesome that they decided to make that a real piece of chain that's movable. And again, Mutt, great touch. He's got a great texture to him. The sculpt is really neat. It looks like he's furry. I like that even his claws are detailed, and his paws, the collar around his neck, every single spike is individually sculpted, and the head sculpt, the face on him, is really cute. It's kind of comical in a sense. He looks like your stereotypical angry dog, like maybe something out of Tom and Jerry, and you can see his fangs, his whiskers, he's got some different coloration. Again, the eyes are a great red, and I like the fact that he's biting his leash, and it's got that sharp end sharp point on the end there. Lobo, upper body, fantastic as well. Ridiculously sculpted musculature, veins are popping, every little bit of muscle is detailed. He has the jacket, the jean vest I should say, and it is jean. It's not black, it's like a really deep blue. The cross around his neck, which is also individually sculpted, and again there's a nice red paint on that. You can see zippers on the vest, you can see buttons on the vest, you can see the collar on the vest. I mean, my gosh, the details are just ridiculous on this guy. Not to mention the back of it has the Bite Me Fanboys logo painted, hand painted I might add. There is not a decal on this guy. That's another awesome thing about this figure, not a decal. And when you look at the maddening detail on that jacket, especially the back with the Bite Me Fanboys, I mean, it's just awesome. Absolutely awesome. If this guy isn't a special edition, I don't know what is. Finally, the head sculpt. Again, exceptional. Love the grin on his face, that smart-ass grin. I love the fact that they gave him the cigar. He has the goatee. The eyes are that nice bright red. The black eyeliner around it and those nice sharp points. He looks exactly as Lobo should. His hair is big and wild and crazy, and it's a nice glossy black. He's just absolutely perfect. He looks the way he should look. You get a sense of his character from the sculpt and from that cocky look on his face. He is just an absolutely perfect. I think he is a perfect figure, to be completely honest with you. Moving on to the bad, absolutely nothing. There's absolutely nothing wrong with this figure, in my opinion. Nothing bad about him at all. I'm not even going to waste time on it. Finally, the ugly. I don't think there's anything weak or fragile about this figure. He's big, he's solid, he's completely made of lead. Maybe the cigar in his mouth, I've heard of instances where it has been broken off in the package, so if you have the ability to check that before you buy, I suppose you should do so. Overall, Lobo is the new king in the special edition line. Hail to the king, baby. It is Lobo right now. Gorilla Grad was the old benchmark. Lobo here takes the cake. His scale is gigantic. The detailing on him is ridiculous. I love how big he is as well. It's another reason why I feel he is perfectly suited for the special editions and is the new benchmark at this point for the special editions. Is he for everybody? Probably not. I know he's sort of obscure. If you're not familiar with him, I could understand not wanting to spend the money on him because I know he goes for a pretty penny right now. He can be pretty expensive depending on where you find him. But I really like him a lot. But I like the sci-fi characters, I like the aliens, and Lobo is definitely an alien. And he is, in my opinion, the epitome of special edition. So if you like him, go get him. You should have this figure, add him to your collection. I think he is, in my humble opinion, the best special edition in the line. And I hope you've enjoyed my review here of the 11th special edition Lobo, the main man Lobo. He's just great. I love this figure so much, and I hope you've loved this review. Please stay tuned for a quick teaser trailer of the next figure in the line. We're going back into the Blackest Night, Brightest Day collection, ladies and gentlemen, with the one and only Blue Lantern in the collection. I love the Blue Lanterns. They're so cool. So I hope you stay tuned for that quick teaser trailer, and all will be well. As always, I am your host, the MonkeyBoy, aka Jay to his friends. Thanks for watching.